What will Britain do? Leave or stay with the European Union? Time to cut the cord with the continent? Yes, this according to John Mills, the chairman of Labour Leave, the Labour Party's movement to get the UK out of the EU. Mills also runs a company called JML. This is a home shopping network with a number of TV channels all across the UK and Europe. He joins us live now from London to make the Leave case. How bad does it get out there as part of the European Union? Give me some real granular problems about this relationship, sir.
Well, I think the Labour Party, a lot of Labour voters anyway, are very concerned about a number of issues. One is the cost of our membership of the European Union, which is very high. It's 11 point something billion pounds, which is around $20 million every year. We're worried about immigration to this country, pushing down wages and putting too much of a strain on services. We're worried about democracy in the European Union, where it's all going, very high levels of unemployment there. And perhaps most important of all, the way Europe's moving at the moment towards having something like a United States of Europe, trying to bind 28 countries together into a political unity, which we just don't think is going to work, and it's not what most of the people in Europe and in the UK want.
Well, you're standing with Boris Johnson, the former London mayor, Michael Caine, the actor. Love Michael Caine. But look, I heard that it takes sometimes 6 months to actually just open a bank account, that the red tape, and this is your issue, the red tape is choking the growth of small businesses in the UK. Is that true?
Well, that is another issue. There is a lot of regulation that comes from the European Union as they try and get everybody onto the same tack for all the various different ways in which people do business, and that is a problem. That's an additional problem along the ones I just described earlier on.
Okay, so my question is, look, you cut the cord, it sounds good, but if you were to cut the cord, sir, some would say that you then lose the commerce blood between the EU and the European and the UK, that there are a lot of businesses that do trade. There are a lot of customers of your very business who would be really stymied in buying your products.
Well, I don't think that's true at all. You don't have to be part of the EU single market to trade with it. Most of the imports that come to the EU from America, from China, they're not part of the single market. They come over the tariff barrier, which is there, which is actually very low. It's only about 3% or something on industrial goods. So we would be able to trade with Europe pretty well the same way as we do now if we were outside the single market. And maybe if the pound goes down a little bit, which is quite likely, we'd be back maybe even more competitive now than we were before.
I'm looking behind you.
More competitive before than we were now.
Yeah, I understand. You know, I'm looking behind you, very dark rain clouds. People are saying that this torrential rain that has hit certain parts of England, specifically London, actually favor the Leave vote because Leave people are more determined to get there and to make their voices heard. But right now, our markets are charging ahead, and the belief is that it will be a stay vote and that you will have status quo. What do you say to that?
Well, I think it's too tight to call. The polls that have come out have been some a little ahead for Leave, some a little ahead for Remain. And there were two out today, one each way. I think it's going to be very, very tight. I would guess it'd be something like 1 or 2% either way at maximum. It's a really, really tight call.
Well, maybe you can squeeze something out of Brussels if it doesn't go your way, and you can get some change either way. Mr. Mills, thank you. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.